music is a divine intervention. When you look at the universe and the cosmos, everything is filled with atoms and space and time, a continuum. And everything that is considered universal in terms of knowledge and nature is all written through the atoms. And as musicians, and artists, what we do is we tap into that collective energy of all the information, all the atoms since the existence of the planet. And we recreate a story that is based on our own personal journey. And that to me is like where the flow comes from. Like you can be playing with musicians you never played with before, and you get that connection. There's that energy that's transferred between each individual player where you know and feel where they're going and how it becomes the puzzle gets solved. And that's where the magic happens. And so when you think about music and when you're writing, you just have to open your mind to a place of openness and acceptance of what comes from outside of you. Because when you think about what's on the internal side of you, you're not going to come up with you may come up with something that that would be called music because it has a melody or whatever, but it won't be true to the universal concept of the advancement of humankind, which I think music has gotten away from that in some ways. The commerciality, the amount of music that is out there now is just, it's amazing because anybody with a little phone can record something and call it music and upload it, and that it becomes this collective noise. And so it's harder to find people that are dedicated, the musicians that are really dedicated to looking at the spiritual aspects of music. And when you look for inspiration, you look at people like Carlos Santana, who gets it. He understands the same concepts I'm talking about. There are many artists and musicians that focus on a spiritual component in bringing divine light into their lives to create a harmony among the world and its peoples. And that is what brings the joy. And it's not about their internal suffering. It's more about an external rhythmic emotion that brings people together to give them a sense of who they are and what their purpose is. And talking about one's ego and how your relationships with your boyfriend or girlfriend, that's just pure ego. And when you go to an ego society, I think what happens is that narcissism becomes a part of that. And narcissism doesn't listen. It doesn't accept change. It's trying to control the present to maintain its power over reality. And that is an issue that we're facing right now, and I think in this country and in the world. So it's important that musicians, artists, stay true to who you are, and remember that there is a higher power that directs the channel and that opens the channel to where we're going and how we spend our time creating art that represents the soul of the human being.